You know, as the holidays approach, I always like to get into the kitchen and start putting around and getting ready for different meals. And so this year I wanted to share with you a couple of hacks that I do as I prepare for meals here at the house and for celebrations here. The very first one I want to share with you is that I love having a good, nice smell, aroma in the house, more of a fall, a holiday, or Christmas smell. And one of the easiest ways that I like to do it, because I usually like to do it organically, is by just taking a pot and putting in, for example, some cinnamon sticks, some orange peels, not orange peels, but just slices of orange, half an orange typically, and then also some nutmeg. So, and then I usually just take 2 cups of water, put it in the pan, and usually I take about 4 cinnamon sticks. So here I have 5, so I'm gonna drop in 5. And then a half of orange. And since nutmeg can be a little strong, I usually only start off with about a half a teaspoon of nutmeg. And just sprinkle that in, and I turn the pot on for it to boil. Once it comes to a boil, I then just turn it down to let it simmer, and then that smell will just waft all through the house. Now, another trick that I typically like to use, especially if I can't get my stove on, hold just a second. Okay, there we go. The other trick I like to use if I didn't put it on the stove was actually use my slow cooker or a crock pot. And then I usually double this, like, 4 cups, and then just double all the ingredients. And then I put that on, and that can go for hours, and that will just waft all through the house. So as this is getting ready to start to boil and you'll start to steam come up so you can see that, the next thing I like to do is desserts. Running around all the time, I usually sometimes don't have time to bake a dessert from scratch. So one of the things I like to do is, a secret is, I'll go to the grocery store and I pick out one of my favorite cheesecakes, but I doctor it up a little bit. And so I'm gonna show you what I do to doctor up a cheesecake in a rush. So I just, like I said, just pick out a plain cheesecake here. I like to usually decorate it as well. So I'm gonna show you the decoration first. I usually take some candy canes like this, drop them in a bag and crush them up, because this is gonna be my topping on it. So, and this is also a good stress reliever, by the way. So if you had a really stressful day, just doing stuff like this really is a good stress reliever. Just don't hit your hand. So once you get it all, all crunched up, I already have some already done. I just put it over here, put it on the side. Now, to dress up this plain cheesecake that I have here, what I usually like to do is I usually like to put whipped cream on it. And yes, you can buy whipped cream, but because it's already a store-bought cheesecake, one good thing would be is if you make your own whipped cream. And believe me, it's easy. You only need 3 ingredients, guys. So what you need is some heavy cream, and then you also need some vanilla, and then finally you need some powdered sugar. So as far as the heavy cream, you want to take 1.5 cups of heavy cream, and then you want to have 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and then a half a cup of sugar, powdered sugar that is. And you're going to mix it all up. I'm not going to use my mixer now because it'll just make too much noise, but you want to mix it up. And once it's mixed, and you know it's mixed because you're going to mix it for about 3 to 5 minutes, because what it's going to turn out to look is going to turn out to look just like whipped cream. So you have the whipped cream here. You just take a good spoon, and then you're going to apply the whipped cream all across the actual cheesecake. And after you apply it onto the cheesecake, you're then going to sprinkle your actual candy canes, and it turns out like this. So you just put the whipped cream onto the cheesecake and sprinkle over your candy canes, and voila, you have a wonderful dessert already ready for your guests. Now, a final tip that I'm gonna have down in the comments so that you can see is that if you ever want to just decorate your table with like a little stand, so in terms of what your foods are, you can actually use candy canes to do that. And then you can just put your little sign in it that says what the actual, either the dessert is or the food is, or even people's names at their place settings. And you just set it up. Well, these are my tips and my hacks for the holidays. Please share yours with me because I would love to hear them and I would love to try them. Take care. Talk to you soon.